WHO warns of an increase in the number of cases of respiratory diseases. WHO calls on the health systems of European countries to be ready to respond to the risk of a further increase in the number of cases in the coming weeks. On January 16, the World Health Organization, WHO, called for increased vigilance in the context of an increase in the number of cases of respiratory diseases in Europe. Speaking to the press in Copenhagen, Denmark, WHO European Regional Director Hans-Henri P. Kluge noted the increase in the number of flu cases and hospitalizations, and called on the health system to the economies of European countries need to be prepared to be able to cope with the risk of a further increase in the number of cases in the coming weeks. According to the National Institute for the Environment and Public Health, an independent research agency of the Netherlands, the country is currently dealing with an increase in the number of cases of respiratory diseases. According to the latest report released by the Institute on January 10, many pathogens, including COVID-19, influenza viruses and seasonal influenza viruses are currently circulating widely in humans. The number of cases with flu-like symptoms is increasing. In the past week, for every 100,000 people who went to the doctor, 44 people said they had flu-like symptoms, a significant increase compared to the figure recorded in the previous week of 27,100 people. According to the Dutch research agency, recent data also shows an increase in flu cases, with nearly 35% of samples taken from people reporting flu-like symptoms testing positive. Last week, this number was 13%. In Italy, officials said on January 12 that the Italian health system was under severe pressure due to the worst wave of flu infections in at least 15 years. The Spanish government recently required mandatory mask wearing at medical facilities in this country due to a sharp increase in the number of cases of respiratory diseases. WHO said at least 1.4 million people in Europe have been saved thanks to COVID-19 vaccines, and reaffirmed that the SARS-CoV-2 virus is still present. The European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control recommends that people stay home if they have flu or COVID-19 symptoms, following national guidelines on vaccination for vulnerable groups.